let's cook. So a couple of weeks ago, loyal subscriber Oh So Sweet DD suggested that a good idea for a future vlog might be for me to pick a dish I've never made before and make it, basically, but it has to be challenging. Well as being a really great athlete, I feel like I'm going to puke now. A superb artist and a top drinker. I'm also an expert chef, trained in the kitchens at the Great Danes Hotel near Leeds Castle in Kent, where I was a kitchen porter, aged around 18. So most cooking is pretty easy for me. I mean, anyone really can knock up a lasagna or fry a steak or make an English breakfast or whatever. The real challenge, I think, is in desserts. So that's why I had a proper look through this book, Cake by Rachel Allen, owned by my wife. Never actually made any cakes from it. And I looked for the most difficult cake I could find, and I came up with the hazelnut praline triple layered cake. I've never attempted anything like this before. I did a fairly simple lemon drizzle cake a couple of weeks ago, that was pretty successful, and I made some delicious miso brownies during lockdown, as well as some pretty good rhubarb cupcakes. But this is on a whole new level. I even had to borrow a couple of cake tins from my good friend Sweet Carolina just to get through it. Sweet Carolinas, if you're visiting West Norwood, why not pop in for lunch, coffee, and of course, delicious cakes. Sweet Carolinas. Have your cake and eat it. Otherwise, what's the point? Right, let's get started. Right, okay, this recipe is supposed to take, it says prep time 90 minutes. I've already, just putting this together, it's only about half an hour. I already think I'm well behind time, so I'm not making a great start. The other thing I've noticed is I needed 3 baking tins of a diameter of 20 centimetres, and mine, the one that I didn't borrow, is actually quite a bit larger than the other two. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's just going to be all right. So, I mean, this is it. These are the kind of. This is almost all the ingredients. Incredibly, there's the flour. I've sifted all the flour. This is a ton of sugar. Look at that. It's an absolute ton of sugar. That's not even all the sugar that's going in. This is one cake. I had no idea cakes had this. I mean, obviously I knew they had sugar in. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I can't believe how much sugar. This is how many eggs this recipe. This is one cake. 13 eggs. Now, I don't know what you're like at separating eggs, but it can be tricky. I mean, I always used to do it by cracking them and then kind of pouring them into the two halves of the shells. It get a bit messy, and you could really blow it. But I have got an incredible trick, and you might have seen this. It's been all over the internet over the years, but it is really good. It's using this, a plastic bottle to separate them. I like to use a San Pellegrino bottle, because I'm a bit more upmarket than most people. But any water bottle would do. These are just better. Great. Just realised that I wasn't supposed to put all the eggs in one bowl. Right, the egg white debacle's been sorted out, I think. I've done some complicated math solutions and separated out roughly 9 whites from 4. Hopefully that's going to be alright. So I want to move on to the next stage now, which is creaming the butter. Right, I'm not going to lie to you, we've had a disaster. We had the egg white thing, as you saw, when I broke too many egg whites in. Now something else has happened. I didn't read the instructions properly. When I started mixing that mixture together, I thought it looked a bit odd. And I wondered if I put too much, or the milk was off or something, but I checked that and it wasn't. Just didn't look right. And then I looked again, and I was supposed to, that ton of sugar that I had, I wasn't supposed to put all of that in here. I was supposed to put some of that in with the egg whites. So essentially I've got two choices now. I mean, it's now a massive failure, whatever happens. I can either throw all of that away, or I could just do the egg whites by themselves and put it in and kind of hope that it will sort of sort itself all out in the oven. So, I mean, I might as well do that. Right, I've poured the mixture into the differently shaped, differently sized cake tins. So far, the cake tins are the wrong size. I messed up some of the egg whites mixing, and I put all the sugar in at the wrong time. And it looks kind of like semolina. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in the oven for half an hour, and let's see what happens. I mean, maybe it'll be fine. I'm now going to make the hazelnut praline, which I've never done before. Let's see if I can get this right. Well, I don't think the hazelnut praline bit was a total disaster, so that's something from today. Here it is, looking pretty nice. The smell of it was so good, my son came running in thinking I'd been making popcorn. Obviously I haven't been making this, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Right, bit of news on the sponge cake. Just got them out the oven after half an hour. You can see it there. Not bad. It doesn't look too awful. So fingers crossed, it might not quite be the disaster that I thought it might be. So I'm just going to leave these to cool. In the meantime, I'm going to be busy making the custard cream thingy. Let's hope my luck holds. So, you know, over 4 hours in, I started to think that this monstrous cake might be starting to take shape. I'm starting to get a bit of confidence. You know, the sponges didn't look like they were a disaster. The cream that's going to go in the middle looked all pretty good. And I went back to get the sponges to start building the cake and found this. I think, you know, it's another setback, but I think I can save it. I think if I make that the middle bit of the middle layer, I might just be able to stick it together with everything. It might be all right. My plan with the larger sponge cake, because of, you know, the larger cake tin is, I'm going to make that the base, and then I'm going to cut round it. That's my plan, to make it the same shape as the other. So fingers crossed that works. Let's just taste that. That's fine. Yeah, I think you can see now that this is, I mean, it is a disaster. It's really awful. I think the custard is too sloppy. That hasn't really worked. The side over here, it's fallen apart. I mean, it's an absolute cake catastrophe. Yeah, have a look at this. I don't know whether to go ahead and try and cover the top bit or not. I might do. Might as well see it through to the end. Right, it's 6 o'clock now. I need to start making my child his tea. He's starving. I've been at this cake thing for about 5 hours now. Thanks, oh so sweet DD. It is what it is. I've been just trying to make that lovely creamy topping that it's got for about the last half an hour. Just hasn't worked. It's just some sloppy sort of mess. I can't spread it on like it's supposed to. So I'm just calling it a day here. But I think we could just safely say this has been awful. It's probably the worst looking cake you'll ever see. I'm going to stick to savoury things from now on. And oh so sweet DD, you know, if you have another idea, please do put it there, but don't be offended if I ignore it and perhaps choose someone else to tell me what kind of vlog they'd like to see, because this has been a nightmare. I'm only joking, oh so sweet DD. I really appreciate you taking the time to put comments. I thank all my subscribers and everyone who likes my videos. Thank you so much. It really does actually mean a lot to me. And anyway. okay.
This is a good cake. Try and make it at home.